A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. A Confederacy of Dunces is a picaresque novel set in New Orleans in the early 1960s. The story follows the misadventures of Ignatius J. Riley, an eccentric, self-proclaimed intellectual with grandiose ideas and a disdain for modern society. Through his interactions with various colorful characters, the novel explores themes of absurdity, the clash between individualism and conformity, and the social and cultural fabric of New Orleans. The novel's satirical humor and vibrant characterizations have made it a beloved classic, earning Toole a posthumous Pulitzer Prize. Let's deep dive into the book. Introduction to Ignatius J. Riley. The novel opens with Ignatius J. Riley waiting for his mother, Irene, outside a department store in New Orleans. Ignatius is an obese, bombastic, and highly educated man in his 30s who despises the modern world and its values. He spends his days writing in his Big Chief notebooks, filled with his musings and grand philosophical ideas, which he believes will one day change the world. Irene's accident and financial trouble. Ignatius's mother, Irene Riley, accidentally crashes her car into a building, resulting in significant financial trouble. Unable to pay for the damages, Irene pressures Ignatius to find a job and contribute to their household expenses. This event sets off a series of comic and often disastrous attempts by Ignatius to enter the workforce, despite his disdain for conventional employment. Ignatius's jobs and misadventures. Ignatius's first job is at Levy Pants, a rundown factory where he quickly causes chaos with his rebellious behavior and bizarre ideas. He attempts to lead a workers' revolt, which ends in farce and gets him fired. Ignatius then works as a hot dog vendor for Paradise Vendors, where he eats more hot dogs than he sells and engages in absurd schemes. His escapades as a hot dog vendor highlight his ineptitude and his ongoing clash with societal norms. The characters of New Orleans. The novel introduces a variety of eccentric characters who intersect with Ignatius's life. These include Myrna Minkoff, Ignatius's intellectual and radical ex-girlfriend from New York, who challenges his ideas and lifestyle; Officer Mancuso, a hapless police officer trying to prove himself; Darlene, an aspiring exotic dancer; and Lana Lee, the corrupt owner of a seedy nightclub. Each character adds to the rich tapestry of New Orleans life and contributes to the novel's satirical tone. Myrna Minkoff's influence. Myrna Minkoff, with whom Ignatius has a love-hate correspondence, constantly criticizes his lack of action and challenges his worldview. Her letters serve as a catalyst for Ignatius's misguided attempts to enact change. Myrna's radicalism and Ignatius's conservatism highlight the ideological conflicts of the time and provide a humorous commentary on intellectual pretensions. The Levy Pants Revolution. Ignatius's attempt to incite a workers' revolution at Levy Pants becomes one of the novel's most memorable episodes. He drafts a rambling and inflammatory letter to the company's owner, Abelman, which leads to a chaotic confrontation and his eventual dismissal. This episode satirizes labor disputes and corporate inefficiency, reflecting Ignatius's quixotic nature and the absurdity of his endeavors. Paradise Vendors and Ignatius's decline. As a hot dog vendor, Ignatius's escapades grow increasingly outlandish. He becomes embroiled in various schemes, including an attempt to expose Lana Lee's pornography racket. His activities attract the attention of Officer Mancuso and bring him into conflict with various locals. Ignatius's incompetence and outlandish behavior illustrate his ongoing struggle to find a place in a world he fundamentally rejects. The climactic chaos. The novel's climax brings together the various characters and plotlines in a chaotic and comedic convergence. Ignatius's schemes unravel, leading to a series of misunderstandings and confrontations. Irene's frustration with Ignatius's behavior reaches a breaking point, and she considers committing him to a mental institution. Meanwhile, the other characters' lives intersect in unexpected and humorous ways, culminating in a resolution that reflects the novel's satirical nature. Ignatius's escape with Myrna. In the end, Myrna Minkoff arrives in New Orleans and persuades Ignatius to leave with her, offering him a chance at a new life and possibly redemption. Their departure is left open-ended, suggesting both hope and uncertainty for Ignatius's future. This resolution underscores the novel's themes of individualism and the possibility of change, however tenuous it may be. Legacy of a Confederacy of Dunces. A Confederacy of Dunces remains a celebrated work for its humor, rich characterizations, and satirical critique of society. John Kennedy Toole's novel captures the eccentricities of New Orleans and the timeless struggle between individualism and conformity. The novel's posthumous success and Pulitzer Prize highlight its enduring appeal and the tragedy of Toole's untimely death. Its legacy endures as a testament to the power of humor and satire in literature. Let's meet together the main characters of the book. Ignatius J. Riley is the novel's protagonist, a highly educated but eccentric and slothful man in his 30s. He views himself as a misunderstood genius and spends his time writing in his Big Chief notebooks, criticizing modern society and dreaming of grand reforms. Ignatius's pompous attitude and outrageous behavior make him both a comic and tragic figure, embodying the novel's themes of individualism and absurdity. Irene Riley, Ignatius's long-suffering mother, is a widow who tries to cope with her son's bizarre antics and financial irresponsibility. Her accidental car crash and subsequent financial trouble force Ignatius to seek employment, setting the story in motion. Irene's relationship with Ignatius is a mix of love, frustration, and dependency, reflecting the novel's exploration of family dynamics. Myrna Minkoff is Ignatius's radical ex-girlfriend from New York, who corresponds with him throughout the novel. She is an intellectual and activist, constantly challenging Ignatius's views and urging him to take action. Myrna's influence on Ignatius highlights the ideological conflicts and adds a layer of complexity to his character. Officer Angelo Mancuso is a hapless and well-meaning police officer who becomes entangled in Ignatius's schemes. Desperate to prove his competence, Mancuso's bumbling efforts provide much of the novel's comic relief. His interactions with Ignatius and other characters underscore the absurdity of bureaucratic systems and the challenges of upholding law and order in a chaotic environment. Gonzalez is the long-suffering manager of Levy Pants, where Ignatius briefly works, and Miss Trixie is the elderly, senile office assistant. Their characters add to the humor and absurdity of the workplace, highlighting themes of inefficiency and the disconnect between ambition and reality in the corporate world. Darlene is an aspiring exotic dancer working at the Night of Joy bar, owned by Lana Lee, a corrupt and exploitative businesswoman. Darlene's subplot, including her attempts to train a cockatoo for her act and Lana's involvement in a pornography ring, provide additional layers of humor and social commentary. Levy family, the apathetic owner of Levy Pants, and his wife, Mrs. Levy, who is obsessed with psychoanalysis and self-help theories, add to the novel's satirical critique of wealth and social pretensions. Their dysfunctional relationship and indifferent management of the business further illustrate the novel's themes of incompetence and societal decay. Let's explore together the main themes and concepts of the book. Absurdity and satire. The novel is a masterful satire that highlights the absurdity of modern society. Through Ignatius's misadventures and interactions with various characters, Toole critiques social norms, bureaucracy, and intellectual pretensions. The absurd situations and exaggerated personalities underscore the novel's comedic and satirical tone, offering a humorous yet pointed commentary on the human condition. Individualism versus conformity. Ignatius J. Riley embodies the struggle between individualism and conformity. His disdain for societal norms and his grandiose ideas set him apart from the conformist world he despises. However, his inability to adapt to the realities of life highlights the challenges of maintaining individuality in a conformist society. The novel explores this tension, illustrating the complexities and often the futility of resisting societal expectations. The eccentricity of New Orleans. New Orleans itself is a central character in the novel, providing a vibrant and eclectic backdrop for the story. The city's unique culture, with its blend of tradition and eccentricity, mirrors the personalities and antics of the characters. Toole captures the essence of New Orleans, celebrating its diversity and idiosyncrasies, while also using it as a microcosm for broader societal critique. Failure and resilience. The novel delves into themes of failure and resilience, particularly through Ignatius's repeated failures and stubborn persistence. Despite his numerous setbacks and the ridicule he faces, Ignatius continues to pursue his misguided endeavors. His resilience, though often delusional, reflects a deeper commentary on the human spirit and the capacity to endure despite overwhelming odds. The influence of family. Family dynamics play a significant role in the novel, particularly the relationship between Ignatius and his mother, Irene. Irene's attempts to manage Ignatius's behavior and her ultimate decision to consider institutionalizing him highlight the complexities of familial responsibility and the impact of family on individual choices. The novel explores the often fraught relationships within families and the influence they exert on personal development. Let's talk about the author. John Kennedy Toole was an American novelist born on December 17, 1937, in New Orleans, Louisiana. Despite his talent, Toole struggled to find recognition during his lifetime. His magnum opus, A Confederacy of Dunces, was published posthumously in 1980 through the efforts of his mother, Thelma Toole, and writer Walker Percy. The novel went on to win the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 1981, cementing Toole's place in literary history. Tragically, Toole died by suicide in 1969 at the age of 31, never witnessing the success of his work. His legacy endures through his novel, which remains a beloved and influential piece of American literature. Sincere thanks for watching. If you found this summary helpful, consider taking a moment to hit the subscribe button, like or share the video. If you have any feedbacks or book requests, make sure to leave a comment. Regardless, I wish you a great day.